you need to have a connection, and sometimes you find your level, and sometimes you find your club. And this is my club, to be honest.
How easily could it be done at this level of football to bring in something where you've got someone at the front checking temperature, track and trace, hand sanitizer? I've seen it done myself in England at 2 matches. Could it be done here just as easily?
100%.
If you could liken yourself to a current modern day player in your style?
Clogger. A clogger in the middle of the park. I was just one that would maybe go and put some tackles in and go and win the ball for others to go and play.
Recently, I made this video. It highlighted the struggles that small non-league teams currently face in Scotland. In a modern world where cinemas remain open and an audience is allowed to watch Strictly Come Dancing, football clubs are still being shafted by the government. I appreciate that England and Scotland have different rules on this, but you get the point. All this nonsense does is push fans away and make it even harder for the clubs at this level to survive. So yeah, while temperature checks and social distancing are in place so that people can go and watch B-list celebrities dance the Charleston on a Saturday night, sadly, we still can't get inside clubs like this as football fans. After my recent video, the manager of this club just here behind me, Ardrossan Winton Rovers FC, got in contact, and I'm going to have a chat to him today about the kind of current state of football and the club. Formed in 1900, they're 120 years old now and have been a part of the Scottish Junior Football League system since 1903. They play in the West of Scotland League and have won a number of regional cups such as the North Ayrshire Cup, as well as other local league trophies. If you could just explain a little bit about who you are and what you do here at the club.
Yeah, my name's Stevie Wilson, Ardrossan Winton Rovers manager. We're in our third season here. I've been a player here for 6 years. Love my time. It's a great club. And then I had to stop through injury.
Yeah.
And then went in and started 21s, involved in setting up 21s here.
Yeah.
About 2.5 years doing that. And then we moved on to Saltcoats. Went from Saltcoats to Ardea, to Ardrossan Vicks, and kind of went full circle and back here as manager, which
nice.
It was always a job that I really wanted, so when the chance
cool.
came, I was delighted to get back here. So.
And we're currently in Ayrshire, which is obviously really big for like junior football and this level of football in Scotland. So you've been around a few of the different clubs in the area, and you really know this level of football well, don't you?
Yeah. I'm a Glasgow boy. I played for Edinburgh for a short spell in Glasgow, and I'm a Glasgow boy. People always ask why Ayrshire, but something I love about Ayrshire clubs is the wee towns. Everybody loves their club, if you know what I mean, in these towns. And
yeah, I've had a look at the league, and you've got like the teams from Irvine and Troon and all those kind of places. And
when I was at Ardrossan Vicks, we had a great rivalry with Irvine Meadow. We had some great games there.
And you get some good turnouts as well at this level as well, football?
Well, again, you're probably averaging, I don't know, maybe about 100, 150 a game, depending on who you're possibly playing and where supporters coming. But it's a good core of supporters here.
Yeah, cool.
I've always had a connection. Even when I was a player, Mark Canny used to come down, and she was in a wheelchair. I'd say the committee man was coming down and they would look after her and all that stuff, you know what I mean? So I've always had that connection with the club.
Yeah, cool. So this club has a big role to play in the community then, so you're talking about like coming down with your family and stuff like that. That's still the case like nowadays as well?
The club, the way we kind of put it is, the community doesn't function without the Winton, and the Winton don't function without the community. It is massive, the community. And obviously doing this interview yourself, it's nothing to do with the clubs that's pulled out, or the leagues, or the clubs that stay in, or the players that's playing for nothing, or half expenses or whatever. My players were the exact same. But we need the supporters. And I want to do this interview in the sense of I'm passionate regarding every club we need our supporters back.
Yeah.
Every club, even the clubs that's going out and the boys that's playing for nothing, they're a credit to their club. And the boys that are going for it,
They're trying to keep this level of football alive, basically, and that will then just kind of take me into my next question. So you saw my video and reached out based on the video that I did at Auchinleck Talbot just recently, and how they've had to pull out of the league, as have the other club I visited that day as well. And so just explain the situation now a little bit about this club and how I believe you've had to pull out of the league as well.
Yeah, we've had to pull out. I mean, it's the club has always played football. I think we spoke about it earlier that the only time we didn't was during the war.
Yeah, we spoke about that off camera here.
And to be involved with the club and not playing football is hurt. It hurts us. It hurts the players, because we spoke, and we had to sit with the committee, and it was a decision that we all came to. The players agreed with what we were talking about, and one of the players had said it felt like a death to the family, which is, I don't know what's going on. It's probably not in the right context, but you know, it's that kind of feeling that what we're going to do. But we felt that we had to look after the club, which is in its 120-year history. We spoke to some supporters, and he kept us going at a point where during lockdown and stuff like that, the supporters kept us going, and they're massive to us. We can't cope without them.
Yeah, so it's basically unsustainable at the moment for clubs of this size to be able to keep playing matches and playing leagues and travel all around the areas. Without
one of the clubs in the Colchester had a lot of travelling to do this season, but we felt like, listen, let's get on with it, let's have a go at it and see. A lot of other divisions had Ayrshire teams in it, which maybe 2 or 3 and one had 4 or 5 rather. I think we were the only Ayrshire team in our league. So again, the travelling restrictions and all that stuff could end up being a problem. But yes, it's financial, but one of the things I've got to praise my players about was our kit man, Peter, is in his 70s. A lot of our committee are retirement age. They're down here every day from 9 in the morning to 12, near enough, not all of them, but most of them, doing their bits and pieces, tidying up, painting, whatever. The players came to me and said, listen, we need to look after Peter. He's a kit man. He's not just some people Peter's a legend at this club. Peter played for this club in its only Scottish Cup semi-final in the 60s. So he's a legend at this club. He's still working here now. It's like it's more of a community than just a football club, and obviously people say football's just a game, but when you consider stories like this, it really isn't, is it? It was a real maturity for my players to come and say that to me, and it was something that will stick with me, because they say, listen, we need to look after some of the committee. And that goes on how good the boys we've got. They want to play football. I want to play football, of course. But to then come and see that, we've got a physio who has battled cancer, Ailey, and she's clear. She's been clear for a number of years. She's an inspiration to us. And she's just fell pregnant, and we're excited for her. And again, that was something that was brought up. The boys were saying we need to watch Ailey as well. So it's full credit to the players. And yes, they want to play football, and yes, we will make sure that they're maybe out playing as much as we can get them out and play them. And we're all desperate to come back, which is great, and it's great for the club. And it's not nice that you should have seen the committee's faces when we had to make that decision. It's not a decision that was made lightly.
Absolutely. Just spoken about kind of what the club means and what your role is here at the club as well. What do you think, if anything, the football authorities or either the government could have done better? The SFA we spoke about off camera as well. What Have the clubs been in contact with the authorities, and what has been the response from them?
Yeah, I think the communication has been quite poor at times. We've been asking questions as clubs and asking for protocols and surveys to be done. And
what are the lines of communication, if you don't mind me asking? Do you phone them up? Do you email them?
No, it used to be through a committee. We'll go through the secretary, who will be a representative to go to, well, it's been Zoom calls and ask questions and get as much information and then report back to the clubs to then make a decision on what happens next. But we just, I don't think it's been very clear, but I don't want to ridicule the league setup because it's a new setup we're going into. There's teething problems with a new setup, but some of the decisions have been really poor. For me, it was like a case of the supporters and the facilities was paramount, and I think for all of us, long term, it's paramount. Not any of the clubs I think are going to be able to sustain going full seasons and stuff like that. I think we've done a survey of 70% of clubs that said they wouldn't. And again, it's credit to the players that have came back to some clubs. I know clubs would say they would possibly pull out, and then it was players that actually went to them and said, listen, you would play for absolutely nothing, and that's what's changed their decisions, and they're a credit.
We also spoke about this off camera, is that what happens to the players who might be at a critical point of their playing career where they want to potentially move up and to the next level, potentially even go on to play in SPFL. Like, what happens to them? They have to miss a complete year of football if...
Yeah, for me, my job now as a manager is to make sure the boys are out playing football. We've got to find them clubs, we've got to make sure that it's amateur level, or junior clubs that are prepared to take boys on that want to go and play. We had a few that were a bit worried about actually going. We've got some firefighters in the team, police officers in the team, teachers in the team, and some were slightly worried that if we were stuck with COVID and we were off for 2 weeks, we could come back, but if it happened again, you would get maybe players come and say, listen, I can't afford for anything like that to happen again. If you maybe get away with it once or twice, I know those clubs it's done a couple of times. And that will change, but it's difficult for the players because some are having to take on extra shifts. I know they're playing football for nothing, so they're maybe having to take on some extra shifts just to top up wages. Or sometimes on a Saturday, maybe take a Saturday shift, coming up to Christmas time and all that stuff. So it's going to be hard, but my main aim is to try and get the boys out playing, because I won't take any delight of any player. They all want to come back to the club, which is great, but I don't want to have players sitting in the house on Saturday.
Absolutely, and you see, like, around the world at the moment, the Super Cup final, which was in Hungary like last month or whatever, between Bayern Munich and Seville. There was fans there. There was fans at the Rangers Standard Liège game in Belgium the other day as well. How easily could it be done at this level of football to bring in something where you've got someone at the front checking temperature, track and trace, hand sanitizer? I've seen it done myself in England at 2 matches. Could it be done here just as easily?
100%. The club and all clubs, I can only talk for the clubs that we were at the pre-season and went to, and the protocols you had in place was excellent. The clubs that came here to play us in pre-season all commented about our protocols in place, and temperatures getting taken, names and numbers and stuff like that, everything getting taken regarding the clubs. So the area we have at this club, we have a capacity of about 3,000 that you could get in here. We could get in 150 to 300, no problem.
And that would keep the club afloat, it would keep the club in the league, and that's the same as every club, I'd imagine, at this level.
Yeah, it would go a long way to help, and obviously you've got the other side. A lot of people think it's just about going onto a park and playing football. The amount of work goes in behind the scenes. We have a summer fete, which the community come in and the place is mobbed, there's stalls and all that.
And that helps with the running and stuff,
We have the youth system. During pre-season we have a double session where we go to the beach, we have lunch here, and then a second session we go to one of the park with the youth kids. And we let the supporters in to come and see all the new signings. We end up playing a big mixed game on the park with the youth and the first team boys and the young boys below it. All the parents are down. So the community side of things is absolutely massive. The fundraisers are massive. The sportsmen's dinners that they have with their sports clubs being done up in the last year or so. Quite a lot of money spent on that. To upgrade that, we've had over nights in there with ex-players doing question and answer.
Yeah.
We have old supporters who are constantly doing lotteries and all that stuff for the club. So without these, it doesn't matter. We can't put a team on the club without these.
And so what does the future hold then for the club? And in your opinion, what's going to happen over the next 12 months, the next couple of seasons?
I think that's a big question even on life at the moment.
Yeah.
What's going to happen, and it feels as if we're going closer to another lockdown. Obviously we're getting this new tiering
See
system.
Wales and the tiering system that's up here now,
Yeah. So I know a lot of people be thinking football is maybe secondary, but it does mean a lot to a lot of people.
It's the nation's favourite pastime, and without it, like, people don't have anything to do.
It's our national sport, but when I was up there, I had some troubles in my life.
That's a release, isn't it?
This dress room was my release to being amongst the boys. We have had issues with our own players that something's happened in their private life, and the first thing I'll say is get down and in amongst the boys, because they'll take the mickey out of them and they'll rip them, but that's what you need.
And even for the fans as well, like you've mentioned how much it can help the players, but just like the people that live around the community and just want to see it go.
I've got old supporters that contact all the time, that class is friends. It's not supporters, the class is friends. So I've known them a long time, being at the club, as I said, as a player and a manager. All day the cares and all that stuff. Just phoning me and saying, I just went out of the house for an hour and a half. An hour and a half in the fresh air, and that's it.
It's open here as well, so that makes it even more kind of confusing as to why they're not allowing this to kind of be back open, because the whole reason to open up restaurants, pubs, cinemas was so that these industries didn't basically fade away because of
we're an industry at this level. We're going to be a small part. We're an industry within our community. We're massive. Same as Saltcoats, being at Saltcoats, small core of supporters. Same at Ardrossan, we class as the 3 towns. Same at Ardrossan, you need your core guys that never let you down. Home and away, guys that travel in the Scottish Cup, we'll be Aberdeen, always there, win, lose or draw. So we need these people. I would say to Nicola Sturgeon, I think she was saying last week about her dad being a United supporter, and he's constantly on the phone asking when can I get back to watch my beloved United. For me, Nicola, just let them go back and watch the game.
Stand outside, away from each other.
These guys aren't silly people. If they don't feel comfortable coming, I'm sure they'll say, well, it's my decision, I'm not go today. Or I wasn't sure about the protocols at the club, so I'll go back. That's totally up to somebody's. We're not going to force anybody to come here, but to have the opportunity to get supporters, and it must happen for all of us, the teams that's playing and the teams that's not. It's not just about the teams that's not playing. We all need their supporters back, and we need them back quickly.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for coming to let me have a look around today and answering my questions. I'm going to go have a look another look around the ground now, and get a few more photos and stuff.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
So we're now currently on the pitch. So you are obviously now the manager here, but you've also played as well.
Yeah, I was six years here. Came out of 21s football. Came down here. The club was going through a wee patch, and Dennis Stornley was the manager at the time. God rest his soul, he passed away. And we didn't have a lot at the time.
So for you it was a chance to come and play at like an iconic club at a good level of football, and so what position did you play then?
I was in central midfield when I first arrived here. And I played 3 seasons here, my first 2 seasons. I won Player of the Year the first 2 seasons, and then I left to go to Bember.
If you could liken yourself to a current modern day player in your style?
Clogger. A clogger in the middle of the park. I was just one that would maybe go and put some tackles in and go and win the ball for others to go and play. No, I sit in midfield. I would like to go box to box when I could, but no, I would like to get tore into tackles and stuff like that. That was my type of game back then.
A proper midfielder doing all the dirty work and...
I liked it. I did like that. I wasn't the greatest of players that I would be skillfully going being 3 and 4. I would chip in with my odd goal here and there, but I would go and get the players in. There'd be some good players here, and I would just go and win the ball and let them go play. That was my job.
Nice.
But no, it's a great club. I ended up going to Bember up in Glasgow for a spell. Did didn't quite work out for me up there, and then the club basically asked me to come back, and it was a no-brainer to come back. I was desperate to get back at the time. Came back here, played another 3 years, and obviously I picked up an injury in my hip, so I had to get my hip replaced. And then went into coaching and started 21s here. So
yeah, nice.
Great connections at the club, some great memories in the dressing room. We've had some great pranks at the clubs as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you're a big part of the club here.
I don't know, that's for others to probably
yeah.
but for me...
Seems to me like you've played here, you know, you've managed here, and now you're trying to do your best to bring the club out of what's obviously a bad situation.
Yeah,
so.
the committee have been on brilliant. The committee, they work so hard. I get on well with the chairman. I'm on the phone to the chairman near enough every Sunday night. We sit, we have a chat. And the chairman's helped me because my dad's battling cancer just now, and he's a supporter down here and desperate to get back. He's asking me to come into some games. I was like, I can't. And the chairman had lost his wife not that long ago, and the club go down that road, they're comforting each other. Do you know what I mean? It's a great connection this club's got, and it's something that you never forget. It's a small thing. It's small, but just putting a top on and playing. You need to have a connection, and sometimes you find your level, and sometimes you find your club. And this is my club, to be honest.
Love that bit of sea breeze here that you get when you come to the beautiful coast of Ayrshire. And as you can see here, I've got my Ardrossan Winton Rovers mug. A huge thanks to Stevie for showing me around, as well as the other couple of people that were just doing bits and bobs at the club today. They seem like an amazing club, and look at where they're located. The club is in and around the houses, the stadium is in and around the houses of the people of this town, and look at the beauty of this. You've got the coast right there, some mountains in the distance, and it's absolutely lovely around here. And I really do wish clubs of this level all the best. I obviously do completely understand and do sympathise with anyone affected by the current situation that we find ourselves in, but I do think that surely the time is going to come soon enough where fans can be allowed back into stadiums and into games, because as you can see, it is ruining life for these clubs, and they've currently got players who are looking to leave this club and go to somewhere else, but they've said they play for free, some of them, and you could see there from Stevie that, you know, the players have been great and that they love the club and all that kind of stuff, and they're doing all that they can to help. And there's people that are ingrained in this club and ingrained in the community here who the club could not cope without. So if you have liked this video, if you've enjoyed it, please hit that like button, it really does help. If you're a Scottish football fan, share this video, share it with someone else who will enjoy seeing kind of what Scottish football's like at the moment and might even be able to help in some way. Please leave me a comment if you support a club of this level and you'd like to go back and see them, and if you're new, please subscribe. We've got loads more football content coming up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.